is that the banks have so many different departments. They will not entertain the short sale until they have everything in their hands, meaning the mortgage commitment for the potential buyers, the hardship letter explaining why you're requesting a short sale. It could be a relocation, it could be you lost your job, it could be illness, it could be a multitude of things. But they would want to know, they want to have your W-2s, your, you know, everything financially showing the bank how you are unable to pay for that home. And it needs to be all sent in one fell swoop, one package to the bank, and then they will look at it and hopefully they will get back to you within 30 to 60 days. If there is something missing from that package, it gets put to the side. They're not going to be calling you and saying, oh, you know, Mr. Smith, you know, we're missing this, that, and the other. They're busy. They're like looking at so many other short sale applications. So until you actually pick up that phone to call and ask them to follow up on something, will you find out the status of that short sale application. So if you have a savvy agent, one who's going to be representing you well and representing and helping out the attorney, that savvy agent, and that happened in one instance with myself. I was calling the bank every week. I was trying to avoid actually a short sale, but in that particular transaction, my client was supposed to pay a $25,000 because she was selling her home before she had signed off on a different venue of a mortgage, and if she was selling within a year, she had to pay them a prepayment penalty, and it was amounting to something like $25,000. So I found all of this out. She was sort of loath to give this information to me, and when I spoke to the bank and different bank representatives every month, I discovered the name of a vice president. I wrote a letter directly to him, and I said, we're actually trying to avoid a short sale, which it would inevitably be with these buyers, but I'm asking you to forgive that prepayment penalty of $25,000. And the bank executive realized that this was a much better deal because he was going to get the money back that was owed to the bank, but all he had to do was just, you know, sign off on this prepayment penalty, and we were able to do that. And that sort of really helped the sellers, and they were very, very, very happy. And so with regard to a short sale situation, I think it's very important that only because the attorneys are busy, that the agent gets permission to speak to the bank on behalf of the sellers, and the sellers are very traumatized over the whole thing, and stay on top of the bank and to make sure everything is submitted in a
So in your case, you were the listing agent, and
I was the listing agent, and it was a divorce situation. And I will tell you that the attorney, and you know, when there are two attorneys involved, you know, like they're always afraid of, well, is she representing the wife? Is she representing the you know, the husband? And obviously the wife had in this particular case had wanted to use me, and I basically won the trust of both attorneys. And after the transaction was closed, the other attorney actually called me and thanked me profusely and said it would not have happened without me. And that was a very nice compliment.
That's great, because unless the lawyer is really there for that purpose, I mean, two lawyers in a divorce action are not going to be the short sale agents. They're just not. And maybe an attorney for a seller would do that and it's a whole separate fee structure and a whole separate set of efforts. But in this case, you were the catalyst for that kind of change. And I mean, there are, of course, and we're hoping for our conversation that will be in November. There are tax and legal consequences with regards to short sales versus foreclosure, and there's all issues regarding credit, tax, legal, and credit,
right.
REOs, BPOs, any other OREOs, anything else that sounds like that.